Someone that I know said, if you have one more day of experience than someone else, you can help them. The market is fairly saturated, but I found once I started doing what I do, now there's a lot of people doing it, but there really wasn't anyone specializing in this.
Meet Kelly Eskelsen, a Navy veteran and the go-to photographer for Midshipman at the U.S. Naval Academy. With a passion for capturing stories through her lens, Kelly blends her love for storytelling and service into stunning portraits that stand the test of time.
It is essentially a senior portrait, but I hate to just call it that because it has an essence of environmental portraiture as well.
Right.
Because the architecture on the yard is very important. It's important to history. It's important to their journey at the Naval Academy. And so when I'm taking these portraits of them, I am highlighting them and the journey that they've been on, but I'm also documenting for them the place.
Tell me a memorable moment in your, either in the boot camp or in your portraits, that just sticks with you.
So this is...
Okay, well, hi. You already know who I am, Giancarlo from the Outspoken Artist. Heard it enough today. I'm here with Kelly Eskelsen.
Hi.
How are you? You're from Maryland as well.
I
right?
am.
Okay.
Annapolis.
Nice. Where is that in relation to here?
I don't know. I don't do directions.
How about any hours from here?
30 minutes.
Oh my God,
Maybe.
it's nothing.
I don't
That
know.
is nothing.
Maybe 30 minutes.
That's nothing.
It's depending on traffic though, because this is, here it could be 30 minutes. It could be 4 hours. You just don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now tell me, you are a Navy veteran.
I am.
You take some wonderful photos
Thank
for
you.
the military.
Thank you.
And you also do, is it senior portraits?
Yes. Yep.
Tell me about your work.
Okay, so most of my work is the Midshipman at the Naval Academy. So a lot of it is basically what's their senior portrait. I call it like a firstie portrait. And then also some time capsule packages. So think of like a Grow With Me package where they get a picture every year and then a family session at graduation. And then, and then I'm also opened up to high school seniors recently because I had 3 kids graduate high school and I was looking for someone to do for me what I do for midshipmen for seniors. And I was like, I couldn't find anybody here. So it's like, you know what? Then I'm going to be that person. And it came at a time where my niche was flowing pretty smooth. And so I was like, okay, I have room to add high school now. So,
How long have you been doing the high school photo work?
So I've done it before I really established my niche. I did it a little bit, but I started trying to add it to my portfolio maybe a year ago. Yep. So,
You know, these two have been on my podcast before, so y'all have to wave. The midshipman. What kind of this? The first time I've ever heard that actually. Probably because I'm not in the military. I do it. Tell me
always.
about that niche, and is it common? Is it a small market? Tell me.
Yeah. So a midshipman is a student at the United States Naval Academy, and they're basically there for 4 years, and they'll go through what's part military training and part college.
Okay.
And when they graduate there or commission, they'll be officers of the United States Navy, right? And it's difficult to be able to work there at the Naval Academy, obviously, because it is just a military base. The market is fairly saturated, but I found once I started doing what I do, there actually wasn't any, now there's a lot of people doing it, but there really wasn't anyone specializing in this. There was a lot of people who do a million things who you could get on their website and find maybe 1 or 2 sessions like this, but no one that did it as their specialty. And it is a unique specialty, and I hate to, it is essentially a senior portrait, but I hate to just call it that because it has an essence of environmental portraiture as well.
Right.
Because the architecture on the yard is very important. It's important to history. It's important to their journey at the Naval Academy. And so when I'm taking these portraits of them, I am highlighting them and the journey that they've been on, but I'm also documenting for them the place. So I can't just take a senior portrait where we find some pretty colors and hide in the shade, right? I can't, for me, senior portraits are just, I can do those in a second. This is all white buildings. So it's something where I've established a specialty knowing where the light is at what time on the yard, which buildings photograph like this, how to pose each type of midshipman in which uniform in front of which buildings at what time of day. So I feel like that's why it's a specialty for me and something that other people do, because they'll just have a white wall hiding in the shade. It looks like anywhere else in Maryland,
Right.
and mine, I'm also featuring the place with them.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, when you were going through this process, did you go through this process yourself or no?
I didn't. No, I
Okay.
was enlisted.
Okay.
hmm
So
But I do their boot camp. Their version of boot camp. I follow them around all summer and take pictures.
what does that look like?
It's amazing. And it's like, I mean, compared to getting paid for the senior pictures, it's like nothing. I do it for not as much because it's amazing, right? Because they come in. I mean, these people graduated high school 5 seconds ago. I'm not even kidding. Some of them are within a week of graduation. Like they're not even 18 yet when they get there, So they get here and they're just launched into this intense training to be officers in the military. And so I just go out to all these physical training evolutions that they do every morning. And my job when I do that is to try to take pictures of as many faces of theirs as I can, so that if their parents have enrolled in the program, then they get to see their baby every day and sort of what they're going through in training. It's not always art, but I do take time to make art while I'm out there. Photojournalism, I'm such a huge fan, and that was my original intent. So for me, it's amazing. I'm witnessing, I see them come in as babies, and then I watch them get done and be these confident, capable people moving forward into the most amazing journey that they're about to go. And I mean, these people, and I wish I had a better word for it, but they're elite, by the time they get done with that, and in this respect. And it's really, really cool to watch them go from one to the other, and to be a part of the physical training portions of the Navy that I miss, and just to be witness to all of it. I just love it.
Yeah, that's a fantastic transformation to see someone who just left high school
Yes.
to go through these regiments and these disciplines to then become elite, to your point.
Yes.
And it's like a senior portrait plus.
That's really what it is, because I stuck around for a little bit, made friends with enough people, whatever, to where I have the contract where I do the boot camp thing, some other training evolutions, ceremonies, games, stuff like that. So parades, and it's amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's being able to be on the sidelines for events like this. I just love it.
I can tell you like it. I can tell you enjoy it quite a bit. I remember when I was looking at the speakers, I saw you had videography in there.
Did I? I don't know.
Well, what's this videography thing I saw? They just put videography
I
there?
think they did. And originally they had me, I've been like 3 things for some reason on there. I make reels, but I don't know if that counts. And I do, what is this guy's name? Do you know the senior photographer, Sal something or other? I think he might start with P.
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
Come on.
Anyways, he did a class where while he's taking his portraits, he's like, just switch over to video mode for like a second and just do one of these guys. So the idea is video portraiture. And so I did experiment with that a little bit. I am not a videographer.
Yeah, I think I saw videography on the app.
Probably.
Yeah, that's
There's a few different things on there. It was headshots for a little bit, and then it's been different things.
You gotta tell them, just this is how you put your video mode in your phone. So.
I know.
Oh, let me see. Anybody there?
That's all I could do.
I keep forgetting that I go live. Is that?
Oh yeah. Is somebody there?
I think that's Justin.
Hey, Justin. I don't know you. Hi. Or maybe I do.
After shoot, big mustache.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's over there somewhere.
I like
Stalking.
that.
He's stalking. Tell me a memorable moment in your, either in the boot camp or in your portraits, that just sticks with you. A really memorable shoot or event that you attended that just will forever stay in your mind.
So this is before I started the portraits. It was the first summer that I did plebe summer, which is their boot camp, their training. And I was out on, it's called the confidence course. It's basically a high ropes course. And it's up very high, and it ends in a zip line. And again, these are babies. Okay, these are babies when they come in here. And there was this girl, and she was just terrified. She was just super. And it's at the beginning of the summer. By the end of the summer, they're willing to do anything. Beginning of the summer, they're still a little scared of stuff. So she was terrified the whole time. She was little, which is kind of a disadvantage on courses like these. And, she had to jump from this big log to another, climb all this waffle, go through all this high ropes. And she's about to go on the zip line. And she's terrified. Like, I can see her shaking. I'm an empath. I can feel her fear, like, from way down here. And she just stayed up there. The whole rest of her company just filtered through, went down the zip line just over and over. And she stayed up there. She was just shaking. And then at the end, they are just, and I remember taking the picture and still just, and I had just gone through a photojournalism course. So for me, this is like, I'm like, yes, this is amazing. And the light was perfect here, which I know it doesn't matter, but it adds to it. Anyways, so she's like hanging on to her thing, and I can just see her shaking, and like her entire company gathers around, and they just like start chanting her name, and they're all cheering her on, like, you can do this, and they're saying her name over and over again, send it. And then she just sends it. And she just goes. And afterward, their company commander came and gave like a little talk to them. And they were like, who's the bravest out here today? And people are like, looking around, like maybe the guy who did it the fastest or whatever. And it was like, no, it was this little girl who sat there and shook for like 30 minutes. And then she finally did it. And she did it with her team cheering behind her and all this stuff. And I had a moment where I was like, yes, this is a summation of what it felt like to be in the military and be part of a team, and to have a different kind of camaraderie than you could ever have anywhere else. And I got to watch her do this through my lens. I got to watch her overcome a fear. And like I said, by the end of the summer, nobody has fear like that anymore. They will send it off anything without even thinking twice. And I love that. And it made me so proud to be a part of it and to continue to be a part of it.
That is a great story. What's a common misconception about the Navy that most people don't? Right? Like there's people know the Marines and the Army. Well, what's something about the Navy that most people get wrong?
Gosh, I have no idea. I don't even know what their opinions of the Navy are. I know there's a lot of stuff they get right. There's I don't know what any misconceptions
What's
would
one
be.
of the most rewarding experiences that you had being in the Navy?
The whole thing was, I mean, I had a couple of deployments that were really amazing. I got to visit really cool ports. Trying to think. I feel like I remember the best thing I remember was getting to my first duty station and just walking down the pier and realizing how big. And by this time, I had been in training more than a year, so I'm excited. And I'm walking down the pier, and I just hadn't realized how big the ships were. And I was just like overcome with this, like, it was like magnificent. And it'll get you like, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I'm part of something bigger, and I'm about to go, on a journey, really. So that was pretty cool. But the whole thing was amazing. The teamwork I had to, one of the deployments I had to go to combat training with with the Army. And I went through with the K9 unit. So I got to go to combat training with the K9 unit. So like they even did the little rollover training with us. Like you get in the Humvee and they roll you over, and the little dog's in there with us. And I got to put the arm on, and they chased me and grabbed the arm thing. And anyway, it was cool. All of it. I would be on your podcast for 6 years trying to tell you all the cool things that happened to me in the
You had a dogs in there. It's the K9 unit. That is just great. Um, I think I touched on it a little bit, but I never asked you officially what brought you here to Peculiar.
So I had a friend, Luke, and he was shooting with me in the summer at the through the boot camp stuff. And he would come out in the evenings, and they all are not required, but they're encouraged to do a sport. So he was shooting the sports portion of it, and we got really, really close. He was just one of my great friends. And so after that, I would have him come out with me, second shoot events, whatever. And then he passed away, was it not this September, but last September. And I remember just being really sad about it. And he kept telling me like, oh, you got to come out, like come to this thing. And I knew RJ. RJ had actually worked on base for a little bit. You got to come out, come see RJ, come do one of these photo walks, whatever. And I kept not, like the timing wouldn't match up. And then we were at WPPI and Costin was there, and I saw that and I was like, oh, no, wait, maybe he did my headshot first. I saw him giving headshots. But anyways, the thing is that I ended up going on a photo walk with him and just getting to know everybody and being like, this is where I want to be. Like, this is a group of really, really, really good people, and they have so much knowledge and experience. And it was just a place I wanted to be. You know, I just like them all. And so
It's crazy
there I am.
how the general consensus about conferences for the most part is that it's the people.
It
It's
is.
always the people. I mean, the
Mhm.
classes are great. Education's phenomenal. Which-
Vendors are fun.
Vendors are fun, especially those after shoot crazy people. You know, they're a wild bunch.
It's the unicorns.
It's the unicorns. And if Justin's still there, I see you. I see you. No, but really, the people is what really draws people back into the conference. Sorry for the loss of your friend. I'm sure that they're happy that you're out here doing that CDA Jam.
I was thinking about that. He would be proud of me for talking.
Are you going to any future conferences besides this one?
No, I was going to do WPPI, but my son is a gymnast and probably going to states the same weekend. So
Nice.
yeah. But,
What about imaging?
I definitely want to go to imaging. I haven't been yet, and I'd love to.
I've
So,
done imaging twice. It's
Have you?
great. I think when they do it at the Gaylords, they're so much more engaging.
yeah.
The Louisville was not bad, but
Yep.
there was a sense of there was no cohesion. There was no center space where everybody can congregate.
Oh, yeah.
In Nashville, we had the Gaylord, and once the convention ended, everybody kind of just hung out in their different sections of the Gaylord. We didn't get that at Louisville. But now
Yeah.
in Texas, back at the Gaylord, there's going to be, here's a conference, here are the meetup plays where everybody can do their own thing.
Because it's the people.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know way too many. I just met Johnny today.
Isn't he amazing?
He is a
Yeah.
fun individual.
He gave I was at WPPI. It was like literally everything was supposed to be closed down. And I ended up standing there with a few other people and talking to him. And he gave this from the hip impromptu talks. I was like, man, this is definitely a TED Talk. I wish I had my phone out. I could make money off recording Johnny say this. It was like the most inspirational thing. And so I followed him on Instagram and I was like, man, it's amazing. I'm going to go get my picture taken by him today.
Yeah, he's I got to get my picture taken with him too. And I got to photograph him and a bunch of other people whenever I find time.
Yeah.
Because I have all my gear
Yeah.
in other bags over here. So I can photograph. And I even have a medium format camera down there.
Do you really?
Yeah,
That's
it's a toy camera though. It's a toy medium format camera
Mm.
that creates these really, how do I describe it? Almost surreal type of look.
I
Because
love that.
it's such a cheap camera that it's never sharp. But
It's like making a pinhole image
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
it's like a dreamscape type of thing. So yeah, Johnny's a character. I had lunch with him today
Oh,
at
did you?
at the Chili's.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. That was a fun one.
Awesome.
Let me see. Still same. Justin, if you're still there, love you. Let me see.
You were talking. Oh, sorry. I don't want to
I
interrupt.
don't know. We're talking about the conference.
Yeah,
What's your class
people.
about? Or was it?
So my class was the power of the niche. So I was basically just talking about my journey from going to shooting everything and what happened when I decided to niche down and sort of debunking some of the myths and fears that stop people from going with the niche, going down small in the beginning, and really how I think that's how we lose photographers because they're trying to do everything. And, that'll mess with your confidence because if you're all over the place, you're not going to be great at anything. You're going to be good at a lot of things, not great at anything. You're not going to be able to raise your prices, But if you start channeling that energy and becoming great at one type of work, then, it really does. I mean, for me, it was exponential growth.
But that's great. I see your picture back there. Did you speak here last year or?
No, that's from an event. That's from so that's my daughter that's with me. She's a model.
Okay.
And then we were at the barbecue, at the Cousins barbecue.
Oh, I heard about that.
It was
nice.
amazing.
Nice.
Just people. Good
Is this
people.
your first talk? Or?
It is.
Oh, how did that
Yeah.
go?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah?
I loved it. Yeah.
This will be my first talk too
It
tomorrow.
will be.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's coming. Whoever comes will get an interesting perspective about me.
Yeah.
Some pieces might start to make sense when they see him like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why he does what he does. Real quick, how can people find your work?
You can find it on Instagram. You can start there, and I have a little link thingy that I made. So Instagram, Kelly Eskelsen Photography .com. Kelly Eskelsen Photography is ESKELSEN and Kelly with a Y. So that's the quickest way to find my work. Even though I'm highly inconsistent on Instagram, I haven't posted since June.
I'm kind of bad on it.
I'm the worst.
I'm worse on TikTok too.
Are you? I can't even. I did like 3 TikToks and quit. 3 more than quit. Like I can't. I had a very, very busy year. And so it feels like I'm taking time from work to do that because I'm like, wouldn't I be doing this so that I could get more business? And then I post and then more people inquire and I don't have space for them. So then I feel bad saying no. So I need to figure out a way to remedy that because I do like Instagram. It's fun.
It's nice. It's nice. People like to see the work, especially behind the scenes stuff too. People
Yes.
love seeing all that. What's for the future? You have seen your portraits.
Mhm.
You've done the Navy work.
Mhm.
Anything else in the horizon that's piquing your interest?
So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I am feeling a little bit of a shift. I have been wanting to do more sort of long form, even if it's just in my house, just a YouTube video, something that's going to help and inspire people. I don't want to call it course or coursework, but just sort of free. Here's my experience. Take what you need and leave the rest. Mostly because I need to get it out of my brain because it just won't go away. But then, I don't know, I was talking to the ladies today that came to my talk and they were sort of inspiring me to consider coursework. So I don't know.
You'd be surprised. I mean, I think it happened to me one time at Imaging earlier this year when I had my podcast. And I'm setting things up like I'm doing here, obviously look different than this. To me, it's just normal. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm connecting this. I had people stop by and ask me like, so what does this do? I'm like, oh, this does this, and then they're like, it's like a light bulb.
And you don't realize you have that information until you go to share it with someone. Like in my brain, what I'm saying is very basic. And because I went through this whole thing, right? And I didn't talk to people and I really should have. And I'm like, oh, this is helping them. Like someone that I know said, if you have one more day of experience than someone else, you can help them, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I said. Take what you need and leave the rest. That's all there is to it.
Yes, take a sticker. Take it. Also, enter the giveaway. I'm giving 3 prizes. If you scan that QR code, you can actually enter a giveaway. That's right, people. There is a giveaway.
Yay, giveaway.
No, that's great. I think I can't wait to see when you put this from here and out into the YouTube platform or whatever it might be. People really respond to those that are willing to put information out.
Yeah.
And not immediately say, okay, pay me $19.
No, I'm not going to do that.
So
because that puts a different pressure on it.
Yeah, it does.
For them.
It does. Sometimes when you put value out to people, sometimes down the road that can come back eifold.
Yes.
But you shouldn't do it expecting it.
No, I'm not in a place where I want to do that. I like I said, I feel like I've learned some things by stumbling through whatever. And I see people on the struggle bus and I want to help them. And that would be great. And so I think about it all the time. I'll see someone online or hear someone talk and I'm like, oh, no, you just do it like this. Or, I'll be editing and something really simple will come to my head and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a reel about that later. I don't do the reel. I'm so inconsistent, but I want to share that information.
No, I think that'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Did photojournalistic, the course, did that start your photography or were you taking pictures before then?
Oh, I've never not taken pictures. There's a picture of me. I'm 18 months old. I'm clutching a camera because they're trying to take a family photo, and I won't take it without the camera in my hand. So they had to go get another camera and take a picture. And then with that same camera, I took a picture of my grandma, and she printed it, and she made these great books of all the pictures that I would take. And she would say, Kelly, you took this. You were 3 years and 4 months old.
How wonderful.
Or you did. And so I've never not. I don't really know how to not. It's obnoxious, really. But then making it a business, though, that wasn't until way later.
That is the hardest part, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of photographers out there that struggle with the business side of things because it's not the fun part. It can be, but it's not.
And creative brains sometimes just won't do it, right? But what I found as I put stuff together is there's actually a creativity to creating how your business can work for yourself, And what I love, with my client management system, I don't want to plug anybody else, but my client management system lets me do it. My website lets me do it. You know what I'm saying? Like they all give me a place to do some design work. And then I go, oh, my packages look like this. And you know what I'm saying? There's some element of creativity in putting your business together.
What's a tip you give to someone that is looking to open up some sort of photography portrait business in a very saturated market?
Yeah.
What do you say to them to say either go for it or here's a tip that I can give you that can give you that extra edge?
Even if the market's saturated I just want them to pick the one thing that they want to do. Don't worry about the market. Worry about you and your voice and how you're going to make it unique. It can be a saturated market and you can all be creating something that's pretty similar. There is just one you. You are made special to connect with people in a certain way, and those people are going to be brought to you, and you're going to be the best option for them because of how you connected with them directly, regardless of the photo. But I do think that over time, you develop a unique voice to taking the same photo that everyone else is taking. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
And I think that happens naturally when you worry more about bonding with the person. I said in my talk, I was talking about bringing in clientele regularly. And I said, I did not say Instagram. I never said Instagram. I never said Facebook ad. I never said any of that. What I said was you go out into the community that you're already in and do the work that you love, and you figure out how you can package it up to serve these people and make an income for yourself. And it's about service. It's about getting to know people, and it really does branch from there. So there's photographers that came on the yard after I was there that are doing my shots exactly. They're going around looking at my shots and they're taking exactly my shots. Fine. I can't take 1,000 every year. 1,000 of them come in. Okay. I can't do 1,000 of them every year. I'm more than happy to spread the wealth, even if it looks, something like mine. But guess what? There's just one me.
Right.
And I will tell that story in a different way because I'm a veteran, because I'm a mom and their mom is my client, and I know what she wants to see, and I know what they need to hear, and I know how to get them relaxed, and I know how to feature the architecture and whatever all the other things I need to be. It was already built into my experience. And whatever saturated market they come into, what they need to stand out and to connect with the right and specific client, they're going to have the unique thing they need in that situation as well. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
I think that's great. That's really great. That is all that I have question-wise. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't. I appreciate being here.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that we were able to make it work.
Me too.
Now I get to do my first talk tomorrow. That'll be fun.
You want me to root in the back, like scream noises?
That or just say, do the giveaway,
Do the giveaway.
Man, they got good food.
I know, right?
I know.
Where are they going? They got my Chick-fil-A.
Well, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. And now I got to stop all the live streaming.
Okay.
I don't think we had any questions, which is fine.
That's fine.
I'll post these on YouTube anyways later. But for anybody who's on the live stream, thank you for joining.